Yeah.
Is
Sit here.
that is it? Okay, put it on
Mm.
there. Okay.
Where's my pen? You got my pen. Oh, okay.
835, 83,
Are you appendix?
35,
Never mind. Are yours?
8887,
Sharon,
8887,
where are your people?
0567. Right now, they have two of them, I know, but they're always late, so they might just join in.
Okay.
67,
You got part of that?
9. And Pearl here too, so we have
Oh, okay.
mhm, 218 594 594.
Oh, the phone, yeah.
Yeah, continue. Oops, you're in trouble.
Oh,
This thing, 218 594. It's staying long. It's just like it's you could start, because she can hear from this until this settles.
Sharon, I
Huh?
just clicked on the link that you sent me and it took me straight there. I didn't have to go through my Zoom app. Why
But
don't you let her click straight on that
Sister Mecca
link?
said to try that and it didn't work.
Oh,
So that is the reason why I said let us try it. Oh, okay, here it comes. Journal video. Yeah, it's here now. Yeah.
Okay. Ah, there she is. Welcome. Welcome, Sister Michelle.
hi.
Hello,
Okay.
I'm just
And so to
coming in. I'm going to bed.
introduce, oh, sorry, I've muted you.
Are you pen that? Tell me. Are yours?
So all right, good night everyone, or good afternoon, or
Afternoon
good
for
day, or good morning, depends on where you are and what it looks like outside. In fact, it's actually morning here now that I'm thinking about it,
Can-
but but for us it's night. All
yeah.
right. Sister Matthews, just want to thank you very much for the invitation. Um, I will go through and introduce a couple of the strange faces that you may be seeing online that you may be wondering who are they. Firstly, we are from the Association of Gospel Medical Missionaries International, and we do have a website, and my colleague will post our website address in the chat so you can copy it and visit our website in your time. Take a look around and do feel free to send us an email or a donation, or just browse around our site and support us in whatever way possible. So we are an association of medical missionaries, and what we mainly do is we help people to overcome lifestyle diseases by using simple natural remedies and the laws of health. These laws of health we received from the Bible, as well as modern science and from our church. Okay, and now I'm just going to introduce my colleagues to you. We have Sonia Barnes up here in the top right. There she's waving her hand. Sorry, top left.
Hello.
And-
Hi.
Yeah, there is Sonia. Then we have down the bottom here with the plate, we have Clement Jackson in Bolivia, who runs our prophetic Bible school Monday through to Thursday. And he does some real in-depth stuff, understanding the sanctuary and the plan of redemption from A to Z. And
Praise God.
Michelle was online, but I've lost her, or she's gone on another page. But maybe she will come back in. I think, yeah, and she is a medical missionary as well, who is also a licensed naturopath. Now, what we're gonna talk to you we're gonna talk to you tonight about how to boost your immune system. And we've chosen to speak about this topic tonight because of the current situation that we are in, where we're all under lockdown because of this virus, right? Viruses are all around us. We live with them and breathe them every day, but we don't get sick because of our immune systems are able to fight them, or sometimes we don't take in enough of them in one go to really populate the body. But we will be talking to you about this virus, how to help your body to prevent contracting it. And if you do, how you can employ some simple remedies that can actually help you to overcome it if you're not able to receive help from a medical facility. Now, whatever information we present here, it is for educational purposes. If you should get ill, you should firstly seek the advice of your medical practitioner. Or we do separate service from here where you could visit our website for some additional therapies, or to book a session in therapy if you wish. Now, I will hand over to Sonia, who will do a little quiz with yourselves. Sonia, over to you.
Okay. So, okay, so I have a little quiz here, and it's just to test, just to set the scene in terms of flu and colds and why we get them, and where are they actually coming from. So I'm just trying to get my my page up here. Had it here earlier, just disappeared from my screen. Okay. Okay, how many people normally get the flu a year? How many people do you think? Just hazard a guess. Just think of, how often we sometimes get the flu, or someone we know get the flu. How many people do you think get the flu? Are we comfortable writing in the chat?
Oh, it's a small group. You could just
yes. Or you
unmute
can just
yourselves
unmute
and
yourself
answer.
yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
How many people do you think get the flu a year, every year?
In the world, or
in the world, just in general, roughly how many people? Just hazard a guess. How many people do you think get the flu?
Million.
So
Yeah.
20 million, is it 15 million? Would you say, is it 8 or 4 million?
Oh,
Is
I
this a
could say
multiple
over
choice?
20 million
Yes.
people.
20 million people.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a lot of people that get the flu a year. That's correct. A lot of people. If you just think of how often you get a flu, and we talk about flu where your body aches, you have the aches and pains all over your body, you're going to take like a day or two off work to recover. How many people? So there's a lot of us that really get that flu every year. Next quick question is, how many types of influenza do we get? Do we have? Have we got any nurses on the platform tonight? In the meeting? Any nurses? How many types of influenza is out there in literature? How many types? Is it 5? We've got different types we're talking about now. So is it 5? Is it 2? or 3?
We have one nurse.
Just hazard a guess.
We have 2 influenza, I know, A and B.
A and B. Okay, that's a good answer. So there's A, B, and there is C. There's 3. 3 types. So
What's my price, please?
So the A is the most severe one of the 3 and causes outbreaks in birds and humans as well too. And it was the cause of the pandemic of the A. Do you remember the H1N1 flu that we had?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, the Spanish flu.
Right, okay. And so the influenza B is exclusively found in humans, and C is also affects humans and dogs and pigs, and so there are 3 types: influenza A, B, and C. Okay, so we're talking about the immune system tonight. So we talk about the flu and and influenza. Next, the last question is, what does the term influenza come from? So where does the term influenza, where does it come from? Do you ever think about where it comes from? Who named it? Who gave it its name? So,
Spanish.
you want to hazard a guess? Clemens, you want to go for that one?
Yeah, I think it's from Spanish. The Spanish give it.
Spanish. Have we given up? Should I give you the answer to that? Where do you think it came from? What part of the world that named it influenza? So I'll just quickly respond. So it comes from Italy. So it's Italian. It's an Italian who termed people believing that the planet had an effect on human affairs. So that word effect comes, and so he named it influenza. So it's a professor who named it, who was diagnosed and said, okay, influenza, because it affects so many of us, and called it influenza. So he's an Italian person. Yeah. And that was the 3 questions I have for you. So back to you now, Davina.
Okay, Sister Matthews, somehow I made you host, and if you just look on my name where you have the 3 little dots, just press on it and then you will be able to make me back host, please. Don't know how I did that.
Oh yeah, I can see it.
Yeah.
So Sister Matthew, can you see it in the
Or if you go to participants.
Yeah.
If you go to participants, then you will see my name, Association of Gospel Medical Missionaries. And just click on it, go on more, and make me host, please.
Can you find your name? You've seen your name?
Sister Matthews, you're on mute.
Yeah, let me just help.
All right, let me see if I can share the screen.
Right.
Yeah, I can't without being host.
Hold on, I'm getting here now.
Okay, yeah, so on my name, if you click on more, so if you go into participants, right next to my name, Association of Gospel Medical Missionaries, you will see more. Just click on more and then you will be able to make me host.
I'm not seeing more. I've seen more mute chat, spotlight video.
So
make host.
Yeah.
Yes, make host.
And look for Davina.
Thank
wonderful.
you.
Great. Yes. Yes.
All right.
Okay, all right. So I am recording the meeting. So if you need the video afterwards, you could get it in a few days.
Great, thanks.
Yeah.
Hello?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Okay. All right.
All right. So we're just gonna run through a few bits with you about, all right, optimizing the immune system. When you want to optimize the immune system, one of the first things that we think about is diet, right? And we want to look a little bit at a plant-based diet. That's the best diet to optimize the immune system. Animal diet actually causes the body to be acidic, and it fosters the ground for disease. It actually causes diseases. Now, just want to say that a plant-based diet is actually approved by the American Dietetic Society. It's approved as well by the Mayo Clinic. And these names you're probably familiar with because these are all American companies. Many doctors and scientists and nutritionists are also endorsing a plant-based diet and recommending it as a diet that will give you much better health to overcome lifestyle diseases. There is over like 3.5 million vegans in the UK and about 6.5 million vegans in the US. Right? That's quite a number of people. And in fact, it's like the world is going vegan. So we need to check and find out why is the world going plant-based. Now I'd like you to quickly take a screenshot of this slide here. And then in your spare time, you can Google, YouTube a few of these, the top 5 vegan documentary on health for 2017, right? Number 1 is What the Health. And that really goes into detail. It's a very good documentary that really tells you about in the food industry, the flesh industry, and what is really happening behind the scenes and how it really affects your body. It's a really good documentary that hit number 1 in 2017. Then you have Eating You Alive. That's another one that you want to take a look at. And then you have Carnage, which is a UK film. And it shows you as well behind the scenes what happens and how meat affects the immune system. And then you have Eating Our Way to Extinction. These are just 5 of the top documentaries of 2017 that were released in 2017 that you can take a look at, and you can get some deeper insight into why it's a plant-based diet is the most optimal diet for human beings, right?
Sorry, Sister Divine, could you just put your slides on slideshow so the slides become bigger?
Okay, yes.
Yeah, thank you.
Okay. All right, there we go.
Great, thank you.
All right. Now in a book by Ellen White, right, and she has said again and again, and Ellen White is a prophetess. She's a prophetess and one of the main founders of the Seventh-day Adventist Church. And this was written over 155 years ago, right? She says, again and again, I have been shown that God is bringing his people back to his original design, that is not to subsist upon the flesh of dead animals. He would have us teach people a better way. And some of her books, she's got millions of books out there, and she's got loads of them on health. And the writings are taken from visions that the Lord has given her, right? And as we can see here, it says again and again, I have been shown that God is bringing his people back to his original design. That is not to subsist upon the flesh of dead animals. He would have us teach people a better way. And if we go back to Genesis, we would realize that in Genesis 1 verse 29, when God made man and he gave them the diet that he prescribed for man who was perfect and sinless, was one of a plant-based diet, right? It says, and the third paragraph here on this slide says, then God said, I give you every seed bearing plant on the face of the whole earth, and every tree that has fruit with seed in it. They will be yours for food. That's Genesis 1 verse 29. Now, another quote here says, if meat is discarded, if the taste is not educated in that direction, if a liking for fruits and grains is encouraged, it will soon be as God in the beginning designed it should be. No meat will be used by his people, right? And I know maybe most of you here on this platform, you are Christians, you love the Lord Jesus Christ, you are his people. This is what he's saying. This is a message that he has given to his prophetess for our time, that we should return to the diet that was prescribed for men in the Garden of Eden. And we can see a lot of scientific research that tells us that now we know, because science is now, and this was written 155 years ago, and Ellen White was way ahead of her time. When she wrote these, wrote these writings, at that time, nobody knew or understood anything about a plant-based diet, a vegetarian diet. That was way ahead of her time. No one knew the ill health, how the effects that meat has on the human system, right? So diabetes, high blood pressure, cancer, animal flesh is one of the main causes behind a lot of their lifestyle diseases. Suppression of the immune system, which is something that we'll talk a little bit more about, is as a main result of consuming the flesh of animal, as well as sugar and refined carbohydrates and inactivity and drugs, right? Now, just want to look at moving on from diet, exercise. And Sonia, if there's anything you want to say on any other points as I go along, please feel free to just interject and say a bit. Okay, all right, so exercise, it says when the weather will permit, all who can possibly do so ought to walk in the open air every day, summer and winter. And when we go for our walking, we should do brisk walking. So you walk and raise your arms, make sure they go above the heart, and you inhale deeply and you exhale. Get that fresh air coming in the lungs so it can helps to purify the blood, right? We need to be exercising and getting pure, clean, fresh air to help to build the immune system. Remember, we are fearfully and wonderfully made. And if we should zip our bodies down, so just imagine, picture yourself, right? Zipping yourself down from your head right down. What would you see? I need to hear a couple of responses from the audience. What would you see if you should zip your body down? Imagine it, picture it. Any answers?
See your bones, see your organs.
Yes, definitely you would see all your organs. What else would you see? What would they be doing?
Working, pumping, moving.
Exactly. You hit you said the key word, moving. Every single organ would be moving, would be doing something. You would see the blood would be circulating around the body. The heart is pumping over 100,000 times. The muscles are moving. The lung is continually expanding and contracting. Right. So we are creatures that were designed to move. And again, if we're going again back to the Garden of Eden. If you go back in the Garden of Eden, when God made Adam and Eve, they didn't need to work to build houses or anything like that. But yet he put them in the garden and told them to till the garden, to work. They had physical labor that they had to do to keep them active. Now, we live in a society where we are sedentary. So on the diagram here, let's see if you're seeing it. I don't know if you're seeing everything properly from it. Let's see. I'll probably, yeah. So you can see we sleep for, so out of the 24 hours, we sleep for about 8 hours, right? And then we work for 8 hours. And then the other 8 hours, I want you to think about, how do you spend that additional 8 hours? How do you spend your 8 hours? Anybody? Give me a couple of answers. How do you spend your
Watching
8 hours?
TV,
You spend it watching TV. Do you stand and watch the TV or do you sit?
sit, or driving.
Okay, or driving. What else? How else do you spend your other 8 hours? You probably spend a
Eating.
couple of hours cooking in the kitchen.
Yeah.
But apart
Showering.
from showering, yeah, you spend not maybe a couple of minutes,
Right.
15 minutes or so standing in the shower.
Cleaning.
On our phones.
On our phone, yeah, cleaning, yeah, you do some cleaning as well. So when you do some cleaning, you get a little bit of activity there.
Mm-hmm.
All right, yeah, that's good. All right, but you know, this is our life, right? It says this is the sitting disease. And I believe this is from the World Health Organization, or actually this was published by the American Journal of, I don't know if you're able to see the rest of the writing, but I'm not able to see this side from 7. Right, but it's published by the American Journal, I think maybe Diabetic or Cancer Society, one of them. Our modern sedentary lifestyle and at-home workplace is very costly to our employers as well as to us, to our health. So this is our life. We sleep and we wake up. We spend a couple of hours probably preparing breakfast that we grab and we probably drink in the car on our way to work. So we drive to work. We get to work. We sit at a desk all day. Most of us, that is, right? Then, so we sit for probably 7.5 hours. When we get our lunch break, we probably run down to the nearest takeaway and we buy something. Maybe we sit there and eat, or we take it back to the office and we sit down at our desk and we eat. Then we jump in the car and we drive back home, right? So we're sitting again. Then we get home. Maybe some of us on our way home, we stop at the Pizza Hut and we pick up some takeaway pizzas and we get home. We have a quick shower. And then we sit in front of the TV and we have that nice, lovely hot pizza or that McDonald's with chips or some KFC or, you know, something like that. But we sit in front of the TV and we eat. And then we literally, half the time we fall asleep in front of the television. And then we wake up and then we jump in the bed and we sleep. And then the cycle starts again. So we spend most of our day sitting. Oh, some of us actually do go to the gym. So we probably go to the gym maybe for an hour, maybe 3 times for the week, right? But what this lifestyle is, it's what they call the sitting disease. That's the name of it, and it actually kills, right? Inactivity is the 4th leading cause of death in the whole world. Yet we don't really see governments or so doing much about it. Mind you, the World Health Organization do have, I think, once a year or so, they will have, they will put something on that encourage people to exercise and to keep active, and they will try and promote being active as much as possible. But this is a once or twice a year event. That's not enough to really impact the world. So it is, inactivity is the 4th leading cause of death in the world. And we are dying because we are sitting down too much. Now, for us to be physically fit for the rest of our lives, I just want you to give me a few answers. How much hours do you think we should sit per day? 3 hours, 4 hours or 5 hours? You're on mute, Miss Lorna. I can see your mouth moving, but you're on mute. We can't hear you. You have to unmute yourself. Yeah, how much hours? Which one would you say?
Can you hear me now?
Yes, we can hear you now.
I would say at least 3.
Yes, that's correct. We should sit to be physically fit for the rest of our lives. We need to sit no more than 3 hours for the day. So we need to be, along with being physically active, right? We need to also exercise. Now, I just want to say that being physically active is different from exercising. So your exercise is something that it must be structured, it must be repetitive, and it must be intentional, right? So you must have a goal and an aim in mind with your exercise. Now exercise is just one part of your physical activity for the day. So your exercise, you have that structured, repetitive, and intentional, that set aside. Now your being physically active is any activity you do that will burn energy. So let's say you have to wash the dishes, you have to clean your house. Instead of sitting down and talking on the mobile phone, you walk around while you're talking on it. When you go to the supermarket, you want to park at the parking space furthest away from the supermarket door, not the one that is closest, because we always try to find the closest parking space to the door. Now, bear this in mind. Next time you go to the supermarket, try and park at the furthest parking spot. But if you can walk to the supermarket, do yourself a favor, walk to the supermarket. If you don't have to use a trolley, don't use a trolley when you don't need to. If you can carry your bags, use that as a form of exercise, use it to help keep you active. If you can help someone with their bag, help someone with their bag to help you to keep active, even though they need to keep active as well. So maybe you shouldn't help them with their bag. But try and find ways to be as active as possible. Maybe you could stand for a meeting instead of sitting down for a meeting. So set yourself some challenges. Challenge yourself tomorrow or for the rest of the day that you have. How active you can be for the day, the least amount of time that you can sit. You know, buy yourself one of them step watches that record the amount of steps that you do per day, and aim for 10,000 steps. So you're gonna start out maybe 2,000 steps for the day, then you increase it the next day, you try and increase it to 3,000, then to 5,000, you know, you increase it gradually until you can manage to do 10,000. When you get there, cheer yourself on, right? But don't stop there. Then you start aiming to get to 20,000 steps for the day. And when you can do 20,000 steps for the day, you will see and you will feel a change in your body. You will feel your energy levels soaring. Your immune system will be different. You will find that colds, flus, and stuff like that, they pass you by. They pass you by. Some of us now, if somebody breathes on us, we get a cold. If they sneeze, before it finishes coming out of them, we get a cold. Now, when you increase your exercise and your steps, you will improve your own immune system. At home, you can have your little home gym. And it's very easy to have a home gym. You don't need a lot of stuff. You need an exercise ball and an exercise mat and a pair of weights. You can go on YouTube and type in Faithful Workouts, and you can do a half-an-hour session with them every day if you want to do your exercise inside the home, especially during the winter when it's bad weather. But let me just correct myself, because you don't get bad weather in California. But those are for if there is anybody in England where we have proper bad weather, then you could look at a home gym, right? For when it's really bad weather. But in California, you've got perfect weather. You're blessed by the Lord. You have sunshine almost all year round. Now, water, the importance of water. Now, most times we only drink water when we are thirsty, but that should not be the case. Once you're thirsty, it means that you're already dehydrated, right? So now, some benefits of water: it increases our energy levels, it relieves fatigue, it promotes weight loss, it flushes out toxin from the body, it prevents cramps and sprains, it aids digestion, and it helps to move the bowel, right? So even if you're a vegetarian or a vegan and you're eating a lot of fiber, if you're not drinking a lot of water, you will still be constipated, because you need water to move all that waste matter through the alimentary canal until it comes right out, right? It improves your skin and your complexion. The quality of your skin will improve when you're drinking a lot of water. You will see even a difference in your complexion. It's a natural headache remedy. So if you're having a headache, just take a bottle of water and drink it, right? And that will help to alleviate your headache. It will, in fact, and indeed, it will boost the immune system, right? Because it helps those cells to be hydrated. It gives your fighter cells power. It gives them what they need to help to fight other viruses when they invade the body. It also puts you in a good mood, and definitely it saves you money because it's much cheaper than getting a fizzy drink or a sugary drink. Now, your sunshine, I don't need to tell you about sunshine in California. You do have a lot of it. However, a lot of Black people do suffer from vitamin D deficiency. Sonia or Michelle, are you there?
Yeah, I'm here.
You want to say a little bit about vitamin D deficiency in our race?
Yes, I mean, as you can see, well, us in terms of COVID, whether you're in Europe here, in Europe where we are, or in America, those who it affected most of all. And vitamin D is one of the main things where we lack in our diet, because we get it from the sun, which I always call the sunshine vitamin. But a lot of us don't like going out in the sun because we're thinking, okay, we're going to get too dark. We're going to get darker than we are. So we put an umbrella up, or we jump in the car, or, we just don't like going out and getting the vitamin D in. And we need that because it builds the immune system and helps to ward off every illness. In every illness that you may experience or any symptom, vitamin D definitely shows up. As you can see, it helps improve our sleep. It helps improve in terms of feeling low. I know for a fact on my side here that when it's a cloudy day, I feel down as well. And when the sun is out, it actually peps me up. I feel happy about that. So it brings that. It helps with the serotonin and dopamine, helps me to feel better about myself. It reduces cancer. I mean, high blood pressure, diabetes, you name it. Every illness that is out there, vitamin D, and that's why I always say it's more hormone. So it's a sunshine vitamin that will help us in terms of taking care of that symptom, or relieving that symptom, or supporting the body for the body to heal. So I would always say that you go out in the sun, and you want to be out in the sun and to get the vitamin D in where your shadow is shorter than you standing up. Then you're actually getting the vitamin D that you need. And of course, for a lighter complexion, then it would be 20 minutes. But for us, darker complexion, I would say up to 40 minutes being out there. And of course, Davina just mentioned about walking as well too. So you're out there walking in the sun and without the umbrella and without driving. So vitamin D, you can get it in your diet as well too. So for us here in England, we have to make use of it when it's out. And for today, Saturday, so 4 days out of this week, last week, it was really, really sunny. There was no cloud in the sky. But for us, when it's winter, between coming up from about October right back until about April time, we are advised to take a supplement just in case, just to top ourselves up. And so if you're going to take a supplement, you'll be advised to take also vitamin K2. Now, as I said to you before, there are something you can get in the diet, but we are saying actually we are encouraging a plant-based diet. So you would then take a supplement if your diet then doesn't allow you to have other things out there. So vitamin D, it helps reducing weight as well. See, weight loss. Um, Boost your height for those who are height challenged,
Yes.
and not as height as well, Sister Divina has. It helps. It's a key thing to have in the diet, both from the sun, because when you take it into the skin, it goes into the liver and the kidneys are the two organs that help into a form that the body recognizes and body can actually use. So you're strongly encouraged, not to mention the quality of your skin. So those of us who run away from it, don't want to get dark, we need to, embrace what God has given us, which is a natural source of vitamin D, which is the sun.
Yes.
Yeah.
Excellent. Thank you, Sonia. And I just want to say, research has proven that somehow we find Black people, even those who are in the sun, are suffering a lot from osteoporosis.
Yeah.
Why is that so?
Yeah.
All right, I just want to touch a little bit on that. For example,
Milk.
in Jamaica, every morning, whether you eat yes or no, you must drink your tea. The caffeine in tea is absorbing our calcium. It's leaching the calcium from the bones. So the caffeine is our number one enemy.
Yeah.
And we do get that from our tea, our coffee, our decaffeinated tea, our decaffeinated coffee. And the other problem is we like
Cow's milk.
our dairy.
Yes.
Cow's milk, yeah.
Yes.
All that.
And these things that are touted in this world as being good food for us, no. If you notice cow's milk, you notice the size of a calf. You know when he drinks the milk, how quickly it turns into a cow. And you see the size of that thing?
Yeah.
Okay. So, and you notice the other thing as well. The calf is weaned at a certain time and it does not drink any more milk. Human beings are the only mammal that drinks milk up into its adult ages. Human beings are the only mammals that do that. You don't see any other animal drinking milk after it has been weaned. Not even a cat. You give the milk to a cat after it's been weaned, it doesn't drink the milk, it passes over it.
Yeah.
Right? So we are the only mammals that are still drinking milk. And then what's funny is we're not even drinking breast milk. We are the only mammals that drink another mammal's milk. You would never see a cat going to drink a cow's milk, going up on a cow's breast and milking it. You'd never see that. You'd never see a dog drinking a cow's milk. We are the only mammals that drink another mammal's milk. And we are the only mammal that keeps drinking milk as grown adults with teeth. No, but we don't see animals suffering from osteoporosis because they don't drink coffee, they don't drink tea, and they don't drink milk, and they don't eat sugar. We see dogs. I know in America, you do see a lot of dogs getting diabetes, losing their teeth. In America, they're getting diseases because they're eating the same things that we are eating. Not just America, but in England here too, for those who have household pets, because they're eating the same diet that we're eating. But dogs out in the wild, like in the, animals out there that just eat the the natural food that the Lord has provided for it. They don't get the same diseases like us, because they're not taking these hormones in their bodies. All right, a fresh air. Now in your house, a few plants that you can have in your house, right, that will help to improve your air quality. But just want to say the best way to improve your air quality is to always keep your windows, keep at least 2 windows open, so if pure air from outside can circulate within the house. Now, a few plants that are recommended by NASA, right? Top 10 plants that are recommended by NASA to improve your air quality. One is the aloe vera. You can see that one. So if your nearest store tomorrow, you can go and buy some potted aloe vera. You can put them inside your house, plant them outside as well, because you've got lovely weather there in California. They will grow. And not only does the aloe vera improve your air quality, but it's also a very potent herb. So it's really good for viruses, antivirus. It's an antiviral herb. It's antimicrobial as well. It's antifungal as well. And it really seals up a wound quickly. It also cleanses the digestive system. So you can make a aloe vera juice. You can drink that and it can flush your bowels. So it can give you a good bowel cleanse. And it really helps to purify the blood and help the insulin. Help the body to absorb insulin. The other one is a peace lily. And it's a very beautiful plant. So not only does it improve your air quality, but it also beautifies the home. The other one is a spider plant. And these, if you look at them, you'll probably see that they're very familiar plants that you know. And then you've got the English ivy. And you've got the lily. No, not the lily. Sorry. I actually can't see the name of that one in the corner, if anybody can see it. The Boston fern. Yeah, and that's just fern. I mean, the Boston, you just look for fern. And we have a lot of fern in Jamaica, and I'm sure you have a lot in America as well. And you know this one, what we call this again in Jamaica? The creeper. Are you still with me? Are you there? Am I talking to myself?
Yes, but I don't know what it is called.
We are here.
All right, just checking.
That's the one you call creeper in Jamaica.
Yes, yes.
I used to have that when I was in Jamaica, you remember?
Yes, we've always had it in the house and outside. And it's a beautiful plant as well. You know, good for the eyesight, really makes a house come bright and alive.
Yes.
But it also helps to purify your air that you breathe in your house.
Okay.
It's good to have a plant like that in your house. Eucalyptus. And as we know, eucalyptus is not just to purify the air, but this is one of the plants and the oil that you need to have to help your body to fight this virus, right? The eucalyptus oil. It is super amazing. Any of my colleagues on the line just want to say a little bit about eucalyptus oil?
Oh.
I can say I use it to purify the air. If I'm having any colds or flus coming on, it's versatile. In terms of, I'm not sure if anyone in line here suffers from hay fever, where the allergies, you get allergies, you know, because of the warm weather or when the pollens are quite high. But
I'm sure mom suffer from hay fever. Mom, do you?
No.
No, or any asthma or any respiratory type thing, it's quite good for that. So especially for hay fever, any allergy type of symptoms that you have, sneezing, you know, pollen and dust or anything like that, it does. You inhale it in terms of putting into a diffuser to inhale, or you can actually, you know, eucalyptus and honey. For those of us who have colds and coming from the Caribbean, you know that one works. Put a couple of drops, or you steep it with honey. Yes. Mommy,
I have a question.
Go ahead.
Is this plant you get the eucalyptus oil from?
Yes, the eucalyptus
plant.
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Wow.
Well,
yeah.
We're never too old to learn.
Can you use the leaf for tea?
Yeah. I use it. Can I see?
Yes, go ahead, Clement.
Wow.
Clement, go
I
ahead.
I use the eucalyptus in steam inhalation to clean the respiratory. Like, you know, if you go out and you come in contact with the people of the day, what you can do at night, so you do a steam inhalation, some warm water that is steam, but not so much to burn the face, and you can put about 3 drops of the eucalyptus oil in it, and you breathe in the water like for about 10 to 15 minutes or thereabout. And also I use it in the nature's penicillin for boost the immune system.
Yes, nature's penicillin. I love that one, Brother Clement.
Oh.
So if you leave here with nothing tonight, remember nature's penicillin, the eucalyptus.
Yeah.
Right?
Power.
Now, the Lord has not left us hopeless. The Bible said the herbs are for the healing of the nation. Yes. So we have the African violet.
Yes.
Well, which is also another very beautiful flower. So
that's the one. That's my favorite plant.
The African violet, excellent.
Yes.
So get one for your room. Get it for your house. It brings a place to life, and it also purifies the air. And then you've got they call it the Chinese evergreen, but that's the name of it. But we all know this plant. We have a lot of it as well in Jamaica.
Yes.
Yeah.
We really do.
Right. And then we have the chrysanthemum.
Oh, yes, we have that too.
Yeah. So these are just a few
good
plants
one.
that we can use to purify the air. And we will be talking a bit, the second part of this is where we'll be talking about things like the steam inhalation. We will show you how to do things like that. So this is now if you should get a virus, or if you believe that you have come in contact maybe with somebody with it, or this is something you can, this thing is in the air, and more will be coming, by the way. Right?
It is here already?
Yeah, and more will be coming, more viruses. Ellen White said the Lord has shown her that there in the last days, when it comes to the end, there will be a Lazar, the earth will be like a Lazar of diseases. Am I right, Brother Clement? Brother Clement? Okay. So more will be coming. So we'll be showing you how to do the steam inhalations. And these are things you can just do. You go out during the day to work or shopping or school. When you come home in the evening, we're just going to show you things. You just do. Just do it. Just do it. You don't have to wait for you to contract it. Just do it. Because the thing is, this virus can live in the body up to 2 weeks before you see any symptoms. Right? By the time you start seeing symptoms, it has already colonized the lungs, the respiratory system, and it's ready to cause havoc at that time. So what we're going to show you after I finish with these slides is things that you can start doing, you can start implementing practically in your life right away. So let me move this so I can see. Now, this other thing, Clement got kicked out of the meeting.
Yes, he's back now.
Okay. Yeah, so brother, can you hear me now, Brother Clement? Not yet.
Not yet.
Brother Clement? Okay.
Yes,
right.
yes, I am here. Sorry.
Yeah, so you had got kicked out. I was trying to say right, that Ellen White says that the Lord has shown her that in the last days, just before the end, or in the time of the end, the earth will be like a Lazar of diseases. It will be like a disease bed.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll have a lot of airborne diseases. So a lot of these viruses, like this coronavirus, we should expect a lot more like it. We should expect a lot more like it. And as we can see as well from Matthew chapter 25, when it speaks about the things that are going to happen in the last days just before the end, is pestilences, diseases. So we should
Matthew chapter 24.
Yeah. Matthew 24, sorry.
Yeah.
Yes, we should expect these. We should expect these. So we're gonna be. This is just the beginning of sorrows. This is just the beginning of sorrows, right? So we are here to educate you on the Lord's ways, because drugs is not the answer. And I know maybe all our lives we have been using drugs, but it is poisonous to the system. And those who are on medications will, and those who are nurses as well and doctors will tell you there is no drug that does not come with several side effects. Sometimes we've got to wait up. When the doctor give you a drug, sometimes you have to wait up. You've got to look, and when you read the side effects, you've got to seriously say, would I rather stay with my problem or take my chances? You know? So I'm not saying come off your drugs if you're on any medication. I'm not saying that, but I'm saying look at these that the Lord has given us as natural remedies, and don't slight them. Don't put them aside, because this is the way that is approved by the Lord. This is a natural ways that is approved by God. Rest is super important. I know in America, you think England is fast paced? Sister Sonia, you should live in America. These people do 2-3 jobs.
Yes. I'm there quite often, so yes.
Yes. I always wonder, how do they do it? I do a 12-hour shift and I'm literally dying. But these people do 2 12-hour shifts for the day.
Yes.
Right? So rest is important. It's important that you take your day of the week and you rest from sunset to sunset. In fact, it's also important that you sleep your 7 to 8 hours, right? Sleep per night. So I know for a lot of people, especially those who are studying, oftentimes it's 3-4 hours of sleep that we get, but that's insufficient. And people who do not get sufficient rest, this is what happens. Children fall asleep at school, right? Families get torn apart as a result, because when you don't get enough rest, you're agitated, you're irritated, you have a lot of mood swings, and it's very difficult to communicate with you. You're fatigued as well, right? And your reasoning ability is also impaired. And that is why we also have a lot of accidents as a result of drowsiness, right? We have doctors falling asleep. Look at these nurses or doctors here, sleeping, just sitting down sleeping, and we know this is something that plagues our medical industry. Tired nurses. Look at this other nurse or a doctor just so tired, just leaning on the wall with the docket, the patient's docket. These are medical errors. You know, sewing up a patient with scissors locked up inside of them. Sometimes you see cotton balls locked up inside of patients. Doctors make errors. They prescribe wrong medication. They give wrong medication. You get overdosed sometimes because of lack of sleep, insufficient rest, right?
Yes.
It shortens the lifespan. It increases the risk of diabetes, obesity, heart disease. It also increases your risk of high blood pressure. And I want you to see the point number 2 here. Increase the risk of colds and infections, right? And this presentation here, I did this from 2017. So this is long before we hear anything of coronavirus, right? But it increases the risk of colds and infections. So during this period and going forward, you want to ensure that you're getting 7 to 8 hours sleep. Now, just to say a little bit more on sleep. Hours gained before midnight double the value of the hours gained after midnight. So if you go to bed at 10 o'clock, by the time it gets to midnight, it values up to 4 hours of sleep. Even though it's 2 hours, it values up to 4 hours of sleep. If you go to bed at midnight and up to 2 o'clock, that 2 hours of sleep only value 2 hours. Only equivalent to 2 hours. But if you go to bed at 10 o'clock, it's like equivalent to 4 hours. So the hours you sleep before midnight double the hours you gain after you sleep after midnight, right? And in terms of rest, it's best to go to bed about 9:30. The liver starts detoxifying the body at 9:30, and it's best to be asleep to help the liver to do its job, right? And
Also want to say that when you sleep at night, the body repairs itself. So you're eating and you're exercising and you're drinking your water, but if you're not sleeping properly, then that repair won't take place. So a lot of us will say, okay, I've got foggy brain, or I'm unable to recall important information. Is because there are 5 cycles of sleep, and the REM sleep cycle 4 is where the body recalls. So things that you've learned throughout the day, then it locks it away in a more permanent memory. So you can recall things from yesteryear. So if you're not sleeping and having the 5 cycles, so non-REM and REM sleep, then that won't take place. So in terms of the body won't be able to digest the foods and be able to assimilate in terms of the nutrients that you're receiving in the body as well, that it needs to go to different places, whether you're taking vitamin C, even also medication. Sometimes people on medication is not working properly because people are not sleeping as well too. And of course, it could be, for example, if someone's got pain, back pain, then that back pain may wake them up at night, so that will also interrupt their sleep. So sometimes you go back to the doctors for an increase in medication because sleep is not taking place. So sleep is very, very, very important for our health.
Yeah.
I have a question.
Yes, please.
My question is, what about people who have to work at night and have to sleep at daytime?
I always say to the individuals when I'm asked that question is, yes, we live in a world where we have to work night shifts. But there's a reason why God made the night and the day. Now, if you're working nights, then I will say you try to get rest as much as you can when you come off shift, when you get home, because the day shift, sleeping in the day is usually not as equivalent and not as effective as sleeping in the night. So you try your very, very best in the situation that you're in, recognizing that you have to work shifts and you have to work night. So when you get home, that you create night for yourself. So it's going to be daytime outside, but your room needs to be pitch dark. Wear those eye mask if you must. Switch off the phones. Get the phones out the bedroom. You need to do as much as you can. And the television. Yeah, and the television as well too. You need to do as much as you can for your body to rest until you can get to a place where you don't work night shift. But totally understand that this is the world we're living in, but you have to do the best for you.
Well, I'm going to say something. I came to England to see Davina and asked Davina, I couldn't go because it's like day, 2 o'clock it's day. So I just could not sleep. So I stayed up, and then the night just comes in like maybe around 5 o'clock or 4 o'clock. So by the time I start sleeping, Davina is up, so I have to be up.
Right. No, so of course, because you're coming from a different time zone, so your body is accustomed to your time zone where you are now. So coming to a different time zone, it definitely would affect you, you know. And so when she's sleeping,
it didn't affect me a little bit. It affected me a lot.
Yes. Yes. Yeah, it will do.
What I learned today, because I listened to my colleague Michelle presented today at in Rwanda, and what she presented today about rest as well is when you go on a different time zone, obviously the circadian rhythm of the body is disrupted. But she says if you go out and get the sunshine, so if you get the daytime in that country, you absorb as much of the sun as possible. It helps to rebalance like the body, and it brings your body acclimatizes faster. So it brings you on the body clock of that. It brings your body clock on the cycle of that country, basically. So you can get into the same time frame with them. But the only thing is, when you came here, England, you have the daytime, it just stretched on, but there was no sun really.
That's why it's so good to walk. If now you've got lovely weather in California, so
There
get
was
your,
little sun, dog, when I
get your
got there.
sunshine. Because
There was sun.
Okay.
yeah,
Well,
get your sunshine because from about 2 o'clock, the serotonin in the body starts and the melatonin for sleep. Those hormones, the hormones kicks in at certain times of the day. So when it gets to 9, naturally what should be happening is when you get to 9:30, you should naturally fall asleep, wanting to sleep. The urge of sleep should be coming on. But because when things are out of sync, then we try to force ourselves to sleep, or it gets late and you realize, oh my goodness, I should be in bed now, but we're still up. And worse, if we have things like the gadgets, let's say the mobile phones or tablets, or during the evening, during nighttime, that will trick the brain that it's daytime, and so the cortisol levels are quite high at that time of the night when it should be lowered, when melatonin should take over and serotonin in order for us to sleep. So the body's awake, and of course people say, well, I can't sleep, I'm not sleeping. But we need to do some sleep hygiene and prepare ourselves. I always say to clients is that look at sleep as an event. When we get an invitation to go somewhere nice, we dress up, we prepare ourselves for that event.
Amen.
See sleep as the same. Rest. See that, okay, I've got a date with my bed and it's 9 o'clock, and every day, as much as you can, if your lifestyle allows that now, if you're not working shifts, that you're in bed by 9 o'clock, 9:30, or if it's 10 o'clock. But ensure that you make a pattern, because the body remembers that. Okay, so 10 o'clock, it's bedtime. Please don't call, no text or anything, or you yourself, just prepare yourself for bed. And another thing I'll say, always try and read a book that's uplifting, whether it's the Bible. Read something that's uplifting and not worrying, because that will play on the mind during your sleep and interrupt your sleep. So, what I was saying to people during COVID is, after 6 o'clock in the evening, do not listen to the news. Do not watch the news.
Yes.
Watch the news in the morning when you're up and about and your cortisol levels are quite high, not in the evening, because that would prevent you from sleeping. It plays on the mind. Any bad news, someone ringing you saying, something terrible has happened. I mean, we care for each other, of course, but that will interrupt. So try not to let that be a daily thing for you. So you prepare yourself for bed, because you need, and make it a regular pattern that you're in bed by a particular time. Even on the weekends, don't say to yourself, okay, so it's a Saturday or it's a Sunday night, I can be up watching movies. No, ensure that you're in bed, because you've set that time for yourself every night.
Yeah.
Well,
And just to
I
say,
am guilty of that, going to bed late, but it's not the news why I go to bed late. I always stayed up and reading my Bible. And the more I read the Bible, the more I want to read. And sometimes when I look at the time, it's midnight.
Okay. Yes. So even that, auntie, even we read the Bible, you're gonna say, because God wants you to sleep and to rest, to heal the body and to build that immune system. So there needs to be a cutoff when you say, okay, you say your prayers and you go. And if you've got things that are troubling you, because we have issues and problems in our lives, make a note of it. Write in a journal on a piece of paper, and you pray before you go to bed. Leave your worries at the foot of Jesus.
Yeah. That's why I don't let problem get me down.
amen, amen. All right.
All right.
And just want to say, we must have one day of the week when we rest from even our own thoughts, right? And you don't think about your business. You don't do your own business. You don't go shopping that day. You don't go and watch the football either. You don't do anything that is for your own personal gain or your own personal benefit. But you take that 24 hours and you rest in the Lord. You focus completely on the death, the birth, death, and resurrection and second coming of Jesus Christ. So have that time with the Lord. All right, I'm gonna quickly move on. All right, so Trust in the Lord with all thine heart and lean not to thine own understanding. In all your ways, acknowledge him and he will direct your path. Dear friend, I pray that you may enjoy good health, that all may go well with you, even as your soul is getting along well. All right. And now I'll stop sharing that screen and I'll just show you a few hydrotherapy stuff that you can do now if you find yourself in the situation where you have contracted this virus. Let me just try and find it. Any questions in the meantime until I find the slide?
The only one thing you touch on one of my favorite verse.
Which thing? Oh, favorite verse.
Trust in the Lord. That's one of my favorite verse.
Good, yes. The Lord wants us to put everything.
That's right. But maybe that's why I don't worry about anything, because I just put it to God and trust him.
Sonia, are you able to find the immune boosting thing?
Recipe? You need me with a recipe?
No, immune boosting document. Let me just send it to you, Clement, if somebody could share it for me.
I cannot share because I'm my co-host.
No, I think you are co-host. I think I made you co-host. Oh, but you had dropped out, so I need to make you co-host again. All right, hold on. Okay. Yes, Clement, can you share it for us now, please? And we're just gonna we're gonna leave this document with you as well. So I will send this document to Sister Matthews by email, and then you can share it, Sister Matthews.
Okay.
Yeah, you can share it with everyone.
All right. Can everybody see?
Yeah. Is that the biggest you can you make it bigger?
Yeah. Wait. Let me.
And then if you go down to the second page, because that's the 8 laws of health it's covering. If you go right down to the second page.
Yeah.
Immune boosting
therapy there, yeah.
Yeah, if you go down to immune boost, yep, right here. So, all right, a few things.
Yeah.
Yeah, immune boosting therapies. So now everyone, are you seeing this and are you hearing me clearly?
Yes.
Hearing you clearly.
Right, so this is now, if you should contract the virus, these are some things you should do. Or some of these you can start with as preventative measures, especially if you're one of those persons who are considered high risk. So people who are considered high risk are those who are overweight, those who may have heart disease, those who may have asthma or any blood disease, so thalassemia or leukemia, or any lifestyle disease and obesity. If you have any of those, you are considered high risk. Right? So you want to do these things. This document, you will have it for yourself. I will share it with Sister Matthews. She can share it. And you can make a donation to the organization by going on our website and just making a contribution, right? If the Lord impresses you, or as the Lord impresses you. Some of the things that you want to do here is a few herbs, which you can find in your cupboard. Turmeric, honey, cardamom, cinnamon, chamomile, ginger, onion. And we're going to talk a bit more about the onion and the cayenne pepper and the turmeric. These are absolutely amazing for inflammation. They're anti-inflammatory, right? They pull mucus out of the body as well, and they fight inflammation anywhere in the body they are. You want to supplement with things like vitamin C vitamin A, vitamin E, zinc, magnesium, and what is called NAC. Now, NAC is N-acetylcysteine. You can just type in Google NAC supplement. If you type in NAC supplement, it will come up. And if you can get one that is 1,000 milligram, if you can find that, or if you find the 600 milligram or the 500 milligram, you can take, you have it. Well, are you saying you have it? You're on mute, we can't hear you. We can see your mouth moving, but we can't hear you. We can hear you now.
Okay, spell the NAC.
NAC. See it right here.
NAC?
Yes, NAC. And NAC supplement, NAC supplement.
Look,
There
it's
it is.
highlighted there.
Clement has highlighted it in blue.
NAC.
Okay, NAC. Because never heard of it.
Yeah, so it's on the World Health Organization website that they recommend. Where what it does, it pulls mucus out of the lungs.
Okay.
And it increases and optimizes the antioxidants in your body that you get from your diet. And antioxidants you get from eating fruits and vegetables. You don't get that from animal flesh. You get it straight up from fruits or vegetables, right? And these herbs, right? The other thing you can do is dry brushing. So you can get a brush and just brush your body, and you brush from foot upwards, and you always brush towards the heart. So you see this picture here of this lady with the towel over her head. What she's doing is what is called okay, Sister Sonia or Brother Clement, Sister Sonia, maybe if you have the time, email addresses are going in the box in the chat.
Okay.
Yeah, if you could take them down and we could send the
that is steam inhalation. Yes.
Yeah, look, the woman is
I used to
highlighted in
do
blue.
that when I was in Jamaica.
Ah, exactly. So what you do, if you go down a little bit now, you see this pot. I'm going to tell you what's in this pot, right?
That's mushroom?
No, no mushroom.
Lemon. Skin and lime.
Yes. So there is the ingredients are right here in a big pot of boiling water. You want to throw in some lemon, and you can put the whole lemon. You just cut it in half or cut it up in slices, right? You can throw in your orange peel, throw in some ginger, throw in some cinnamon bark, throw in some bay leaf, throw in some turmeric, throw in a little some drops of mint oil or peppermint itself, some pimento seed, and a dollop of coconut oil. When this boils up, you turn the flame off, or you can turn it down. You put the towel over your head, and you hold your head over the pot, and you inhale. Not inhale, but inhale.
Yeah.
So look, Sonia has put the email address, our email address in the chat. And if you email us, we can then share the slides with you, right? That way.
So you're going to send this to Minister Matthew too?
Yes, I'll send it to Minister Matthews and she can circulate it.
Yes.
Okay, amazing charcoal. Charcoal is something, with or without coronavirus, is one thing that you should have in your first aid kit. Your natural remedies first aid kit, your charcoal, right? So you take 1 to 2 teaspoons of your charcoal and you put it in a glass or a bottle of water, shake it up and drink it. You can drink the residues as well as you don't have to drink the residue. You can leave it to settle and drink just the water, or you can drink the residue.
That's better.
You can also make a charcoal poultice and you can put on the lung area, right? Now, the other thing is the immune tea. You can make an immune boosting tea with ginger, cinnamon, turmeric. Clement got kicked out.
Uh-oh. Let me see if I can get mine.
Again. So I'll still just talk you through it. You can make your immune boosting tea. Okay, he's back. From like your cinnamon, your ginger, your garlic, and you can also put onion in the tea. And I don't want you to underestimate the onion. It is super amazing. All right. Now, massage, there is a back massage that you can do. So if this is now, if you have the virus and you find that you're getting the symptoms and you've got the cold and the congestion, you want to do a tapping massage on a person's back, on their back. So you go and you use your hand and you form it in like a cup. You go, you know how in Jamaica when you have pain and you go in the bathroom, you beat it, you suck the area. Yes, you want to do that to the back because your lungs, you get best access to the lungs from your back there. So you want to do that on the back. What that will do, it will break up the inflammation, it will loosen it up. And then when you do the steam inhalation, it will pull it out. You will see some things coming out to you like look like egg yolk. Right? Wow. Yes. And you use the onion as well. So this is where the onion comes in now. This is going to be your best friend. Slice up the onion, have a sliced onion all over the room where you're sleeping. You ignore the smell, okay? Just think about your health here. You inhale that onion, you keep it in your room so what it will do, it will pull toxins out of the environment. You can put the onion all over the house, especially when you go out on the road, you come back in, you probably carry the virus in with you. Put the onion all over your house, right? To absorb the toxins, especially when the children go to school, because they are not as susceptible to it as older adults, right? So they may have the virus and nothing happens to them, but you contract it from them and you will get sick. Right? So put the onion in the house, it will absorb the toxin. Slice up the onion, put under the bottom of your feet, cling from it, put on your socks and sleep with it. It will pull the infection out. You can do the same thing with garlic, but be careful because garlic can burn the skin. So with the garlic, first what you do is you put cling film first to form a barrier between your skin and the garlic. And then you put the garlic and you cling from it and it will absorb the toxin as well. When you wake up in the morning, the garlic will look like a piece of dry leather, right? It's absorbing the toxin. You can grate the onion as well or put it through your food processor, put it in what they call like a cheesecloth or like a tin tea towel or an old piece of sheet or a tea towel and put it in the chest. Put it on the chest and sleep with it overnight. That will help to pull out the inflammation as well. Now we're gonna move down and you will see hot and cold foot bath on this, which you can do as well, right? Try don't burn yourself with the hot water. Go down to the flu balm and the onion cough syrup. Down, Clement. Yeah, so right here, we've got onion cough syrup and this you can make yourself. This is very potent and the children actually enjoys this. So what you do, you get one onion and red onion is more potent than white onion, okay?
Okay.
Yes, and you get some honey and you want your best quality honey. And the best quality one would be the one that is grown locally in your local area, which is unrefined and unstrained and uncooked. No heating process, it has not passed through any heating. That's a perfect honey to use, right? But if you can't get that, you just get any honey. But look for that first. Get a jumbat bottle, like an empty glass jar, and put a slice of onion and then squirt some honey over it, then put another slice of onion, then some honey. So do that about 3 rows. Close the bottle. Within 24 hours, it will produce a natural syrup. This syrup is called your onion cough syrup. It is good for cold and chest infection. You can just take 1 to 3 teaspoons of this 3 to 4 times per day or as needed. And you can add a little warm water to it when you're taking it and that will make it absorb faster in the body. The flu balm is made in a very similar way, but it also has in it ginger. It has also garlic and you can put cayenne pepper in it as well. And please don't be afraid of cayenne pepper. You get a little initial sting from it, but it cools off, you get used to it, and the cayenne pepper is super potent. It's good for the cardiovascular system and it's good for the lungs, right? So in terms of for the COVID, what it does, it opens up the lungs airways, so it allows you to breathe easier. It gives you more room for the air to pass through, especially when the mucus is starting to fill up the airways, right? And it's causing you can't breathe properly. It's stifling you, basically. It's drowning you. The cayenne pepper open up those airways and give you room to breathe. And it also fights inflammation, so it will also fight the infection and help to eliminate it from the body. While it is doing that, it is also causing good circulation to happen with the blood, right? And it helps to purify the blood at the same time. So pure blood is being circulated around, which will also help the body to fight the inflammation. Now, go right down to the bottom, Clement, and it does not expire. Once you keep it in the fridge, it can last up to 10 years. So here is a protocol. A protocol. What you want to do, drink the teas, so make the immune boosting teas. Do the gut massage to break up the phlegm, right? Do the steam inhalation, it will help to pull the phlegm out. Take the flu bomb and the onion cough syrup before going to bed. Do the hot and cold baths. This will help to relax the airways as well. And it will help to fight, it will optimize the body to fight the inflammation as well. Eat your meals at meal time, hot vegetable soups, right? Go for a walk after you've eaten the soups, drink the soups. 7.7. Sleep with the poultices. So that's the onion. Sleep with the onion on your chest. Sleep with it on your foot bottom. Make as well the charcoal poultice, which I didn't really speak much about, but when you read this, you will see the charcoal poultice. Put the charcoal poultice on the lung area at the back and at the front. Put it on. Remember, charcoal is very dirty, so you may mess up that sheet. So you put some old sheet or some old towel on the bed when you're going to bed, but sleep with the poultices, they will help. So I want to thank you very much for inviting us to share these wonderful blessings from our Lord Jesus Christ, our Savior and our soon coming King, right? It is the Lord's desire that we should all be in perfect health, that we should not be sick, so that we can praise him better and we can do his work more efficiently. You can stop sharing the screen now, Brother Clement. Yeah, so it is the Lord's desire for us to be in perfect health, and that is why we are here today, to impart to you the knowledge and understanding that he has blessed us with in terms of natural remedies.
So what is the website again, Richard? So we can send the donation?
The website is www.
Can you send it to me, Dad?
Okay, and you will circulate it. So I'll send everything to Sister Matthews.
Okay, great.
Okay. Where is, how do I send this now?
Oh, it's in the chat as well. agmmintl.com.
Yeah. So I've sent it to 3 persons, Sister Pearl, Sister Lorna, and Sister Matthews, right? I've sent the document, and now I'm gonna send the website, and the website is www.agmmintl.com.
That's right.
Right. And I will, in fact, the link that you've shared for the meeting is our website, has the website details. Yeah, so you can go on our website. If you would like to make a contribution to us, you can make it from the website, but if or you can ask me for our bank details and I can send it directly to you, and then that contribution can go towards Sister Sonia, myself, and Brother Clement's ministry. Okay, so I've sent you that. Thank you very much. Have you got any questions for us before we say good night?
Sure, exactly. I just want to say thanks to you, Sister Davina, Sister Sonia, and Brother Clement. We thank you for taking time out. And I know that it was sacrificial because you guys did it at 12 midnight. We are still up and about and going about our days, but at this time, as you said, where sleep is so important from at least 9:30 at night, and you are up at 12, I say thank you so much for this time that you took out of your rest that you should be having to share such an thing and this information in such a time like this. This was very timely. It was on point. I'm grateful for the information.